5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. Do you remember?
Alright, so I suppose we're down under. Or no. Because of the hat, you know? Because it's like an Australian sort of like, we're down under. Down under? Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where I found this thing, but I thought, I put it on my head and I felt, I don't know what this accent is. I put it on my head and I just felt different. Built diff, And I just thought, I'm a new person now. I'm now Craig. Don't fuck with me. No. I don't know, man. I'm feeling Aussie today, even though I'm set in rainy London. A lot of sports, man, eh? A lot of sports, eh? Boxing, football. I mean, Tottenham Hotspur, Tottenham. This isn't even bottling it. This has nothing to do with being bottle jobs. This is just being bad at the game of football. They were 3-0 down within 9 minutes, 5-0 down within 20 minutes, and 6-1 at the end of the game. Tottenham, you are a disgrace to football. Try another sport. Try golf. Maybe Kane, Bale, apparently they're decent golfers. Maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe it's not in your blood, because you kind of seem like a decent team, they almost won the league. They were second twice. Yeah, to Leicester fucking City. I don't know who they were to the second time, but it's just like it's been an L. It's been an L. The whole Tottenham thing, it is in their blood. The bottle, this is what they are. This is what they do. When you get a manager of the quality of, what's his name? Jose. When you get to Jose Mourinho, a man who's won a trophy everywhere he's been, everywhere he goes, and you break him. I mean, he gets you to a final at least, which is more than can be said for a lot of other managers. So, I don't want to speak too much about football. There's, Ryan Garcia lost to the Tank. I don't remember his name. I literally didn't even know some of these boxers exist until like a big fight happens for them, and then all of a sudden it's like, this is the most exciting kid in boxing, and it's like he's got 30 KOs. It's like I literally never heard of him until this fight. It's crazy. Like if you're a neutral, this stuff really just doesn't come on your radar. I'm barely even a neutral. I'm barely even a casual. I bet I really am just sort of whatever Twitter shows me, I'll see. Other than that, I'm not looking for it. But no, it does have to be said. I mean, Jose Mourinho, class on grass, and then Antonio Conte. I mean, another manager, another Chelsea manager, class on grass. Quality. One at like every league he's been in or something like that. Comes to Chelsea. Like the situation. Think about how bad the situation feels to Chelsea right now. He kind of came into that, and then we won the league. The next year, like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And you turned him into just like an absolute. Like he was pulling his new hair he got put in. He was pulling that back out again. Because he just walked into these players like, oh my god, they are as the jokes are warranted. They are shit, and it's crazy. And Harry Kane, when I was watching that game, I was thinking, all Harry Kane needs to do is get one goal here just to kind of prove like I'm not the problem with this. Like I'm the only good thing about it left. Even Son, like I know he sometimes goes through his purple patches, but it's just like it's not fucking good enough. And I know Harry Kane, you could argue he could be more of a big game player, and I know he's got a bunch of goals versus like Arsenal, which is like a big rival game. But I mean, in like finals and stuff, you could argue he could step up more in those situations and be a bit more of a Drogba. And don't do the blackface bit, Kane, but just emulate the play. That's probably one thing he's missing, but still, This is the problem. They lost 6-1 and Kane scored the only goal type thing, and it was a solo effort and it was good. So there you go. Javonte Davis, I think his name is. The only time I'd seen him prior to this was in the context of a Sunday Conversations interview. And Ryan Garcia, again, I don't really watch the fight stuff, but he's been on my radar at least for a few years because I don't know, maybe he's just more in the public eye. I don't know, like you see more interviews of him. people love making TikTok clips of him because apparently he's got these crazy fast hands. But whenever I see it, I'm just like, anyone can just like just do that like as quick as they can. Like, it's all well and good like punching air like really quick, but it's like, when would you ever? I don't know. Maybe it translates well. I have not seen him box that much, but like, I was kind of thinking this is scary opposition, man. Maybe, you know, the Tank doesn't win, but you know, Anime punch to the ribs, sort of just the boy collapsed, took the knee, Black Lives Matter, you know, type thing. So he was paid his respects. But it's crazy because like, has Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney? Don't know. Let me know. If so, who won? Are they in the same weight class naturally? Like, is a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, or Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis fight ever on the cards? Because that'd be cool. Like, who's considered better, Devin Haney or? I would have to support Devin Haney if it became between Davis and Haney. Or do I care? And why am I picking Haney? I didn't even know. I think I went for a patch. I watched a bunch of like interviews with what's his name, Eddie Hearn, and it was around the era where they had just signed Devin Haney to the Zone, and I was kind of like, I'm backing this kid to do well, even though he's American. There's no fun English boxers, man. Like, I'm not even into boxing, but it'd be nice to have someone just to have a reason to support. And I know, yeah, there's Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I get it. Like, one of the biggest stars or whatever. And they yeah, okay, for sure. There's also Tyson Fury. He's like apparently like the best in the world right now or whatever. So I'm literally chatting shit. It's like Portuguese player being like, why? When will Portugal just bless us with a fantastic player to support? Then it's like, yeah, you've got Ronaldo, mate. But I don't know. Someone young. Whoa! What's going on here? You can hear this, right? This. Such a weird thing when your voice is like, you know what? I'm just gonna be high now. I'ma just change. You know, it's crazy. But yeah. I don't know, man. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, a fighter. Maybe someone younger. Also, all of like English fighters, do we only make heavyweights and stuff? I find heavyweights less fun to watch in a sense. Like, or do I? I don't know. Actually, I don't really watch boxing full stop. But it feels like all the fighters we usually have, they're usually like bigger guys. We don't really produce many, whatever weight category. Maybe it's because I'm not. You're a big guy. What's that from? Batman. Maybe because I'm not a big guy. Like, I prefer to see the lightweights go at it. But yeah, man, some good moves in there. And you know what's so crazy about boxing? And I get it. And I'm not even saying I don't like this, but like, it's like we do this whole press conference, we do this whole face to face, like we are angry at each other, like we want to rip each other's head off. You know, everyone will sit down in the press conference, they'll be asked a question, when are you going to knock him out? I'm going to knock him out in the first round. Cool. When are you going to knock him out? I'm going to knock him out in the first round. His face is going to be on the canvas. We then stand shirtless in our boxers in like a face-off next to each other, like this close to each other's face, breathing in each other's breath. And then we try and intimidate the other person and stuff. And then we fight. And regardless of who wins, at the end we then take selfies and we DM each other and we're best mates, and we're like, oh, this guy's a legend, this and that. And it's like, I'm not saying that I think at the end of the fight they should still have this hatred and they shouldn't just, you know, shake each other's hands and stuff. But like, there's one thing, I'll shake your hand, then being like, yeah, we're actually best buds, you know, I respect this guy so much, I love his work. It's just like, and like, first of all, this whole build-up is the same for every fight. He says he'll knock him out in the first round. He says he'll do the same. We stand off here, we get angry. Oh, we hate. Oh no, seriously, we hate each other. And it's not like people aren't aware of the fact of what's going on. Like, everyone knows. Everyone's like, oh yeah, well, they're just selling the fight. Yeah, but this is getting like weird and like fourth wall breaking up. We're not meant to know that. We're not meant to think they're just saying these things to sell the fight. The fact that we even can just throw the comment out like, oh yeah, he said that about his mum, but you know, he's just selling the fight. What is this pantomime? This is, you know, this whole like faking that we hate each other and then we fight and then we're best mates. I get the whole shit. Yeah, we shake the hand, show respect and that, but like, do I hate him? Do I not? Like, I just find that whole and also I can't watch a press conference without cringing. None of them are good at talking. Like, they're all bad. Like, I saw this clip like, oh, whoa, look at this. Ryan Garcia versus the Tank press conference, man. Oh my god, like, this is gonna be a sick fight. And then you watch it and it's just like, I'm gonna beat your ass, dude. You're getting knocked out first. You're getting knocked out. What's this whack ass t-shirt you're wearing? What's this t-shirt? It's nicer than your shirt, dude. It's nicer than your shirt, dude. Bet you can't even afford a nice shirt, dude. Bitch, shut up. I'm gonna knock you out. Ooh, stop talking. Your breath stink. That's literally what it's like. And then it's just like a bunch of grown men in the press conference, like, they're all just sitting there, like, asking questions, just as these two just have some playground insults match, all just to hug in the end. It's just like, I find the whole thing cringe, man. Because, like, no one's really good at talk. The only time, and I'm not a boxing fan, so there's probably loads of examples, but, like, for me, if every fight was kind of like Mayweather, Conor McGregor, then I'd be like, oh my god, I see it now, I get it. And they can't be like that. But just in the sense that, like, Conor McGregor, oh my god, he was so good at the talking, man. He was good, like, he was actually good. I feel like so many are bad. Even the people who are like, are like, you know, said to be good at it. I listen to, actually no, Tyson Fury is good. I guess it's hard to be good. Like, some people are good in like a one-on-one interview where it's like they're calling someone out and the other person's not there and they can just get their words and they can say this whole like poetic thing and they can rattle off like that. They're good in those scenarios. But so many people, it's like when they're in the press conference and it's just they answer each other questions, they're doing the whole arguing face-to-face thing. It's just so many awkward pauses and it's just like dead. It's like, I reckon, like, if you want to be a boxer, you got to have a couple qualifications, right? Obviously, you got to be able to box. You got to have some, like, you know, KOs under your belt, whatever, not KOs, but, you know, like, dubs under your belt if you want to fight the good people. You also got to take a insults battle sort of like crash course. You got to be able to, like, get your wordplay up a little bit. Let's get some similes going on. Let's get some, you know, let's get some fucking metaphor. Let's get creative with it. You know, this has got to be a real insult match. You know, because at the moment I just think, fucking hell, these guys need to work on the verbal. But you know, the Conor McGregor was just so good. Fuck that Mayweather's. And then at the end of it, yeah, you shake hands in it, but look, you know, still not best buds. You know, not like best buds really. At the end of it, I just find it weird. Like, why are we all buying in like, oh my god, this is a fierce match. We've been wanting this for years, man. We've been waiting for this one. When it's just like we know they're just saying it to like sell the fight. And how does it sell the fight anymore? We know that's just what they're doing. I don't know. It's weird. I didn't even watch the fight live. I just woke up on Twitter so the next day, like, what happened? Like, oh, he won. Let's see how he won. Oh, yes, a nice shot. Oh, that fucking hurt. Oh. Okay, I move on my day. That's my extent of knowledge or whatever in it. Oh, that was something else I wanted to mention about like fans. Don't want to do that now. Yeah, I'll do it now. So, Man City played Sheffield United FA Cup semi-final, and a lot of empty seats, and people were taking photos like. Oh, it's really sad to see. So many empty seats there. Fans just don't care about the FA Cup anymore. Maybe some digs at City being like, City can't sell out their own grounds, let alone come down to Wembley and stuff. And you know, for a final, some people taking the angle of they're sort of suffering from success. They don't even really care anymore. It's a semi-final in like the FA Cup, and they've won it so many times. They just don't really give a fuck or whatever. Or just cups in general they've won, because it's been the Carabao Cup they've won more really, but they've won a lot of anyway. And then you get obviously all the defenders, and it feels like all the people defending the stadiums not being that full with fans are probably either Sheffield United fans or Man City fans who somehow feel like, you know, what's the words? Insecure about the fact that there's empty seats there, because it reflects badly, I don't know, on you, I guess, saying how, you know, it's ridiculous. No one's going to travel down the country. You know how expensive it is. You know how hard it is to get, hotel tickets and that. It's expensive, and it's just for a semi-final, and it's like, it's in Wembley. Why should two teams from the north have to travel down to London for a FA Cup semi-final? It's ridiculous. It should be in a neutral venue between wherever the teams are and whatever, and it's just like, oh yeah, the exact words were, why do they make working class, why do they think working class northern people are going to be able to travel down and stay and watch the team or whatever? And it's just like, oh my god, I'm sorry, but I just have to say it, like, there's such a victim complex sometimes, man. And I get it. I get you can feel neglected. When you're northern, by the government or by whoever, you feel like there's not enough funds or whatever, or there's not enough sort of eyes on, or like improvements to the local area, or there's just not a lot, whatever, right? But like the fucking victim complex and like this whole like thing, like, how can you expect a working class northern man? It's just like, you think only the north is working class, like. And I know the difference between Newcastle's first final in however many years is different between Sheffield United or Man City being in the semi-final. But Newcastle were there for the game. They filled out the stadium. They were there however many hours early. They were loving it. It was a day out all round. So I just don't really get, like, Sheffield, firstly, one of the teams is Man City. Manchester's second biggest city or whatever, isn't it, in the UK? The other team, Sheffield United, which isn't even that far north. And, like, I mean, I get it. This happens everywhere. When I was in France, like, I was in Marseille. Everyone in Marseille hates Paris, It's the same. The difference is theirs is basically flipped. Their north is our south, because Paris is in the north. And then, people in the south, it's more like, when you're there, the city, it feels more like Newcastle or more like one of these northern cities. And when you're there and you talk to them about Paris, they just hate Parisian people, right? It's just like one of these things, like, oh, they're this, they're snooty, snobby or whatever. And it's just like, it's like how Irish people hate the English, or Welsh people hate the English, or Scottish people hate the English. A lot of people hate the English now. But then, like, if any of those three see England in a football match, they will want them to lose. They'll want half the players to, just sort of die on the field or whatever. But like, whenever England watch any of the other three United Kingdom nations play, we're usually rooting for them to do well, because like, it's a one-sided sort of beef. It's like they sort of hate us, but we just don't really care. And I guess that makes sense, because we was the ones doing all the oppressing or whatever we fucking did. I don't even know the history, but it's like so I get why maybe, but to me, I'm like, this is all history shit anyway. I don't really, but like, it's always this one-sided thing. So it's always like, people from the south of Marseille, south of France, hate these northern, but the people for there probably don't really care. Same here. It's like they hate this and they have this whole thing against it. It's like, I don't know. It was more just the victim complex stance they were taking. Like, you don't get it. This, like, us northern working class fans, as if like the north is the fucking beacon, like, of poverty, like the depths of hell. And it's like, yeah, it is working class up north, majority wise or whatever. But it's also, there's also pretty Tory areas as well. If you look at like the divide or whatever in the boroughs or constituencies or whatever it's called, you're getting a lot of blue in the north sort of big section areas as well, and you're getting a lot through London too. But you're also getting a lot, realistically, if you're in London, not like the whole of London is this snooty place, right? The whole of London, if you're in London, you're like middle class or like upper class or whatever. If only if you're above the Watford Gap, or you're working class, hard man who loves football have to travel. It's not fair. It's like, just as simple. If the game was in the north of the country, right, they held the semi-final in Newcastle Stadium, it would be just as much as a struggle for most people from London to get to there. And also, yeah, you're working class up north, but like, the rent or whatever is amazing. Here you can make crap money. You're making like couple extra pounds an hour, maybe, sure, but like, the rent you have to, like, the money in London's insane. Like, realistically, if you're living in even if you're living in Central, there's still a bunch of like because obviously there's still a bunch of like estates scattered through there which just haven't been knocked down or whatever. But like, yeah, the whole of London isn't West London, you know, the West End. If you're a Crystal Palace fan living in South London, it's going to be just as much of a struggle as a working class person to travel up to Newcastle for a game. It just happens the capital is in the south, the attention's in the south, the National Stadium is in the south. It's just how it is. It's just one of those things in life. It can't be perfect. It's like, want to whack it in the centre in the middle of a field somewhere. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? You know, same with a West Ham fan, East London. North, pretty much any part of London, like Tottenham, any part of London, apart from like select areas, you know, it's mainly working class. So it's just, people take this victim complex all the time. Like City fans, when people go on about City and make fun of them, again, this is City fans make fun of them because like, oh, we can't fill the stadium, and they go on like, it's not fair because obviously the owners price us out of the tickets and make them so expensive, and obviously the area's not that rich and stuff. And it's just like, stop. Yeah, all these things can be true, and it can also be true that you're not filling it. Like, yeah, it's true. Those things are true. The area's not, it's a one-class area and they're making the ticket prices too high. That's all true. But what people are saying is also not true, you know? Like, I'm sure it's expensive at Old Trafford and St James's Park and the London Stadium and the Emirates and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but they fill them. And like, you've got this 55,000 seat stadium which you're looking to expand. It's like, what do you want me to say, you know? And everyone has this problem, realistically, in the top six at least, of like prices being too high. Stamford Bridge has it. Obviously it's a small stadium, but just too much hospitality seats and stuff. And obviously that's in West London, so you'd argue maybe the fan base has a higher wage income, but again, it's just ridiculous things to, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just one of those things. Can you fill your stadium or not? Like, it's a working class sport across the board. We're like, across the board of fans, for every club, it's working class. Everyone's got the same struggles, mate. So like, stop feeling insecure because sometimes your stadium's not filled, and just like own the fact that you've had a sharp rise to success. Your fan base needs to catch up with that, but they can't. That, you know, that they just can't accept that, basically. And it's true. And it's just, it's like a trade-off that's like, okay, a couple people are going to make fun of your fan base, but look at all the trophies you have. You know, is the trade-off that insane? I don't know, it's not that deep. Anyway, I've been going too long. 22 minutes, I'm calling it too long, but you know, it's what we do. This was 1, 2, 2. See you in 1, 2, 3.
Here with the kids, and they had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,